Thank you, South Florida Hindu Temple, for giving me the chance to present in front of you. There is an old Sufi story which many of you might be familiar with. There was an old man, a beggar, and he used to live in this busy junction. And he had a little corner, and that's where he would eat, that's where he would sleep, that's where he did everything except get up and beg. He always used to say that, you know what, I'm going to find my treasure one day. And his friends would make fun of him. Hey, Ali ji, did you find your treasure yet? Are you sitting on your treasure? But he would always smile. Over a period of time, people started calling that place Ali Junction because that's where he lived. He did everything there. Some time passed, and one morning they found that Ali had passed on. And since he spent all his living moments in that spot, they decided they would bury him there. So they started to dig. And as they began to dig, they went 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet under, they hit a tin box. And when they opened that tin box, lo and behold, what was it filled with? Untold treasures. Gems, jewelry, silver goblets. Poor Ali, all his life, he wanted that treasure. And unknown to himself, he had sat on that very spot, guarding the treasure he longed for. Friends, the treasure, the happiness you seek is not out there. It is inside you. You are the happiness you seek. You are the love you seek. So the whole purpose of this journey is to discover what is happiness. Happiness is a feeling inside of you. It is how you feel. It is who you are. It is your nature. It is who you are. This is very important to remember. You wake up each day and say, happiness is my birthright. I was born to be happy. I will be happy today and every day, and I will not allow any person, any event, any situation to rob me of that happiness. You make that affirmation each morning and allow that to sink into your consciousness, and nothing can shake you, because you have taken what I call the happiness decision. You have decided that no matter what happens today, no matter what happens in my life, no matter what problems I have to face, I will be happy. And that puts you on a spiritual path. You have immediately steeped yourself in pure consciousness. Once you do that, your whole concept of divinity is going to change. It's going to become not an outward manifestation of your desires, but an inward affirmation of your faith. And that changes everything, because then you see that the divinity in me is the same divinity in you, in him, in a tree, in a temple, in everything. We are all hollow and empty and steeped in consciousness. People always ask me, what is consciousness? I said, have you ever tried asking a fish what is water? Probably the fish has no awareness of what water is, but that's what the fish is moving in. Similarly, you are steeped in consciousness. And once you take that decision, and I'll read a passage from my book here, you're going to wonder that, I mean, is it even possible for me not to differentiate between, a thing and a person, between me and you? Isn't that something that only masters have? Isn't that something that comes to enlightened people? What about my emotions and feelings? I don't like this man. I like that person. person. I don't like this food. I like that. Isn't that important? And I say, once you see the divinity in everything and you're on the spiritual path, you realize that you are one, where you, the self, begin to stand apart from temptations, sensations, and judgments. Where you, the self, realize the body, mind, and intellect are essential tools in self-discovery. Where you, the self, rise above petty fears and anxieties, aligning yourself with the essence of the universe. Where you, the self, come closer to the core of your being, where nothing but pure peace, joy, and happiness exist. Where you, the self, know you are much more than just complaints, weaknesses, and shortfalls, and that your only entitlement is to be happy. So what takes away your happiness? I mean, I have conducted interviews for my book, and I've interviewed maybe 100, 150 people, and I found that there are 6 basic areas where people feel they're unhappy. 6 basic premises, and I borrowed the term from the Kingdom of Nepal, Gross National Happiness, GNH, and the first indice that controls that is physical well-being. So I'm not feeling well, I have a headache, therefore I'm unhappy. My leg hurts, I can't walk, therefore I'm unhappy. I have a stomachache, I can't digest my food, therefore I'm unhappy. You have put your feeling of being good into the state of your body. You are not your body. In spite of having a headache, I have a headache, but I'm happy. That's the affirmation you make. I have a stomachache, but I'm still happy. My foot hurts and I can't walk, but I'm still happy. I tell you, people with, terminal illness, people with cancer, people with so many diseases, they reach a certain point in their life when they realize that they are going to die. And at that moment, suddenly it all becomes very clear that the only thing that exists is the now. And there's awakening. They wake up and they realize that I have to live now. This is all there is. And the enjoyment that they get from each living day makes everything worthwhile. And I tell you, all of us, we're here now. You are here right now. Nothing else is true. You are here. Events pass by. People pass by. Things pass by. You haven't moved. You are still here. This is the only reality. The present moment is the only reality. And if you don't decide that right now, right here, I'm going to be happy, then when that illness comes, or when that debilitating, muscular disease arrives, what hope do you have of going through that? Because you don't have the faith that I am happy, no matter what. When you develop that faith, it just makes difficult times that much easier. It doesn't take it away. I'm not saying that being happy will make you get rid of physical ailments, not at all. Physical problems will come, they will come to the body, but the mind doesn't have to be unhappy. You are not the body and neither are you the mind, you are much more than that. What is the second index? Mental stability. It is said that 1 in 10 people will get affected by depression at some point in their lives. We had a women's conference a few weeks ago and I was surprised to hear the statistics of people taking medication, people that are prone to depression. And while some illnesses come to you genetically, maybe schizophrenia or the more serious mental illnesses that require medication. Depression which is the most common ailment in half the world, comes only from saying, why me? What about me? Why me? This continual focus on me, me, what's happening here? Why is nobody worrying about me? When will I be successful? When will I get that job break? When will I become, famous? When will I make this much money? When will I get that promotion? It's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. I'm depressed. That's what gets you into depression. When you get out of that, when you get out of yourself and start thinking about what can I do for you? What can I do for others? And get into that beautiful area of seva. When you start working for others, the depression is gone. It is totally gone. Depression results from unreal fears and anxieties. Thinking about things that possibly will not happen. What if a hurricane strikes? What if my husband leaves me? Why is my husband looking at that woman? What if something happens tomorrow? These are all unreal fears. Is it there now? Right now, what problems do you have? Do you have any problems? Can you think of a problem right now that's making you crazy? No. Why? Because your awareness is very high, your consciousness is very high. You have given me all your energy, you're focused on me, and my energy is only positive because I am trying to raise your awareness, so there is no thought of problems. You don't think of problems when your awareness, your consciousness is lifted. What is the third thing? Economic sufficiency. Will I have enough to live? My master Guruji, Sri Ravi Shankar says, all you need is this much food. But is that all we need? This much food that's mine, that's his, that's hers, that it belongs to everybody down the street. We want a lot more than we really require. There was a study actually in the New York Times that said that an ideal family needs about $75,000 a year to really live a perfect life, an excellent standard of living. They also found that people who earned $50,000 were only 9% happier than those that earned $25,000. You'd imagine that, the happiness would ideally be double, that more the money, more the happiness, right? But that doesn't happen. The third thing they found is that acts of charity gave rise to much more abundance and happiness than acts that were for the self. When you did for others, you received a lot more than when you did for yourself. But that job loss can be devastating. Why? Not because of the job that's lost, because of all that's going on in your head. Oh my God, what's going to happen now? It's an unreal anxiety. It's an unreal fear. Oh my God, how am I going to live my life? What's going to happen? How will I take care of my children? My parents depend on me. These things keep playing. The negative rises, and the minute the negative rises, the mind says, yes, this is mine, holds on to it, and the ego says, oh my God, now be scared. Now be frightened. And people completely get devastated with the job loss. But things are in cycles. You have up cycles, you have down cycles. When you have up cycles, you never think of the divine, you never think of anything, everything's going really well. You don't ask anything of anybody. Life is beautiful, you're smiling a lot, laughing a lot. But that down cycle comes and you're in the temple. Saying, oh my God, when is this going to end? When is this going to end? I've done, why me? I've done everything. I've done whatever you asked me to do. Why is this happening to me? God is, the divine does not sit on a cloud, with you in mind, with a little arrow shot at you. We all have problems. We all lose jobs. This is the way the economy is. And then we get other jobs. Things change. And the best way to get your next job and the best way to get your next paycheck is to be positive. I'll get it. I will get it. No matter what, it will come. The minute you put that negative thought, boom, your chances have gone down because the universe is listening. It's listening to you. It gives you what you ask for. So your faith that you're going to get that job has to be 100%. Someone once asked me, how much faith do I need? I was thinking to myself, like, what do I answer? 1 cup? 2 cups? How much faith do you need? 100%. 100% faith that things will work. Because that works on your subconscious. And the subconscious sends out those messages, causing the body to heal, causing the mind to get better, causing the jobs to come, causing people to come in front of you. The universe is very ordered. It happens that way. How does it happen? I don't know. But the universe likes order. It does not like chaos. It has a way of working. And when you realize that you've got this connection, your consciousness is connected, you can send the messages you need. So what's the next thing after economic sufficiency? The political climate. The political climate. Most of us don't even think that that's important. We're born in a very good time, and we're very fortunate that we have liberty, justice, and we can pursue our happiness or pleasure the way we want to. Many others are not so fortunate. You could have been born in Syria today, in Bosnia, in Somalia, but you were not. So what is your attention span on the television? Maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes for people that are suffering there. And that suffering is real. That suffering is real. And it is almost impossible to break out of it. That's one of the main causes of world unhappiness. But according to me, the most important is interpersonal relationships. Everybody believes they're happy if they have a good marriage. Happy if they get along with their parents. Happy being single. I tell you, relationships, when you give love a name, when you make it into an emotion, then it becomes a relationship. And relationships will be great one day and terrible the other day. Love, on the other hand, cannot corrupt. Love, your nature, can never corrupt. Relationships do. Why? Because the main ingredient in a relationship is not love. It is commitment. When you commit to a relationship, you make it work no matter what. This is the reason why people have such a difficult time keeping marriages. And they find they need to break off within, I'm not in love anymore. I need my space. Why is it that so many arranged marriages, that we had for thousands of years have stayed? Not all of them were in love, or they may not even today be in love, but they make it work. There is a commitment here, and that commitment filters down to all of your relationships. If you commit to make your relationship work, you commit to make your job work, you commit to virtually everything in life. And that, I think, is an essential key. Most people, I find, are unhappy and get completely broken down by broken relationships because you've put all your happiness into that relationship. That's what defines you. So when that sours, what do you have? Nothing. You've put everything into your job. You've got this ongoing relationship with your job. And when you retire, what happens? You're gone, you're lost. Because that job defined you. You were American Express. You were Walmart. And now you're floating, you don't know what to do. Take back that power, is what I tell you. Take back that happiness button. Put it back where it belongs. And say every day, I am happy, I will be happy, no matter what. Happiness is my birthright, and I will give no one the power to steal that from me. No one, no event, nothing. I will be happy today and every day. The last one, the sixth index, is environmental issues. And I spoke to a lot of people who were affected by Katrina. And everything went. Not only their homes, their businesses, everything they had gone. And a lot of them came to a spiritual path right about then. And that's what happens. Most of us, we don't need to go inward. You know, things are fine. I'm happy as I am. Everything's great. I've got a lovely husband, great children, job, car. Life is really good. It's only when that down cycle comes that they think about God. They think about the spirit. They think about, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because they're lost. And that's what happened to this couple that I met that I interviewed from New Orleans. And it was only the power of breathing and meditation that brought them the hope that it was going to be okay. Because when you're down like that, it is impossible to think that things can get better. The mind will not allow you to think. It has gained complete supremacy over you. It now is in charge. It is telling you, you are unhappy, you are miserable, you belong to me. It is impossible to break out of that until you get freedom from the mind. And that freedom can only be gotten in the present moment. And I'd like to read another little section about the present moment from my book. What is the present moment? What does it mean? At the core of every living person, there is a longing to get out of Maya, delusion, a need to know the truth, to answer universal questions of who am I? Why am I here? Where did I come from? Where will I go? What is life and what exists beyond? Why do I suffer? Am I the body, the mind, or the intellect? Will living in the world answer my questions? Will it lead to happiness? In this eternal quest, there arises the concept of divinity and God. The present moment is a gift from the divine. When you slip into the present moment, you are closest to the divine. In the moment, at one level, nothing exists, yet everything does. At another, nothing matters, yet everything does. Nothing happens, yet everything does. In the present moment, you determine your future. It is in the present moment that you rid yourselves of ghosts from the past. You can be truly happy and experience that shift in your consciousness from the mind to the heart. The present moment is your chance to renew yourself, make new choices, switch perspectives, and reinvent your goals. Every instant is a chance to die to the past, to look ahead with enthusiasm and vigor. Develop in yourself that childlike innocence which makes you ready to accept the present moment with whatever it brings, and still have the capacity to be authentic, enthusiastic, and funny about the future. It is a brief, yet complete vision of divinity. Once Sri Sri said, every moment in itself is a goal. It is your hope. Don't wait for things to pan out. Don't rush. Enjoy the journey. There is nothing to achieve. Every moment is a goal, and every moment is your destination. Life around you is so fast-paced, with so many demands on your time, that there is no opportunity to pause and reflect. This need to succeed, the very definition of success, makes us think that even a minuscule halt in the flow of constant thought and action is detrimental to progress. In the space of the moment, all you need is a fistful of courage, gratitude, and faith. When you stop the runaway train, then life stops being a struggle, and you can pause in the moment and actually enjoy the journey. Because there is no past, and there is no future. It all happens in the now. Embrace the moment. It is all you have. Examine what you feel right now and experience it totally. Whatever your situation, know it is what is, and choose your present option. Then each moment gets converted to grace, acceptance, and surrender, and you can bask in divine